was just a top.
Well,
What was it?
was Buddy or Bullet or something? I didn't think I,
Well, then you got another one just like it, there was a pouch. Call the council meeting to order for July 13th. Janelle, please take the roll.
Councilmember Barker. Here. Councilmember Brown. Here. Councilmember Lowell. Here. Councilmember Michelson.
Here.
Mayor Gibson.
Here. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're gonna be, the minutes will be next time. We've got, Janelle's been helping train with Gina and stuff. And so that's okay. So we'll go to approval of claims.
Come back up to public comments first.
Oh, I'm sorry, any public comment? Something not on the agenda?
Ricky Motley, 318 9th Street. My comment tonight is on your meeting time. I think it needs to go back to 7 o'clock. There was a comment in the Star this week that said that your attendance at meetings was down. And I think a lot of it is due to the fact that you hold meetings at 6 o'clock and people don't get home and get dinner before the meeting starts. So I would like to see it go back to 7 o'clock.
Thank you. Any other public comment
Yes, I do. Thank you.
on something that's not on the agenda?
Yes.
Go ahead, come on in, sir.
My name's Tim Casey. I live at 219 Turner Street. And I would like to address the lack of enforcement on the fireworks ordinances.
On what?
The fireworks ordinances.
Oh.
As I understand them, they're only allowed on the 3rd and the 4th of July. But they start going off as soon as those booths open. Couple of suggestions, how we can get the word out. An ad in the Valley Republic, an ad in the Bitterroot Star, and possibly even flyers put up late mid-June, starting mid-June, and letting people know what the ordinances are. They will, I'm sure businesses in Main Street, they'll let them put them up. But this has just gotten out of hand. I've lived in Stevensville for 4 years, in Stevensville proper and around the area, and I know we have no control outside of the town limits. But it's just really gotten out of hand. We have people here, veterans with PTSD. Every domestic and wild animal is affected. They bug the heck out of me. But I'm not being unpatriotic. You want to celebrate, celebrate. But first, I'd like to see that current ordinance enforced. And I can recommend one way to do it just in my neighborhood. You can park a patrol car. I don't know what their schedules are. At Lifespan Medical's parking lot. You can go from Barbara to Turner to Heritage to Valley View. And they go off there constantly when they're not supposed to be going off. And it's been like that for the 4 years I've lived in Stevensville. I really don't like them. I don't care for them. You want to celebrate the 4th? Fine. Somebody started, I don't know if the town did it, the thing down in the park this year. First year I remember hearing that. Is that a town thing or is that a private thing to raise money? Because I saw the things for the.
Well, this year's the fire department.
Okay, so it was the fire department, so it was a town.
I think, did it? No?
Firefighters Association.
Yeah.
Firefighters.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. So, but it's on public property. Like I said, you want to have fireworks, fine, but you've got ordinances out there. And they are just not enforced at all, not at all. I've had to call the county a couple of years ago to get somebody out there. And they start going off on the 27th or 28th, whatever day the state allows the sales from those booths out there. And you gotta get it under control, because it's real, I might move out of town and move further out, way out. And I like Stevensville. I've lived here for 4 years. I've lived in Montana for 20-something, and in the Valley for 16. So this is where I wanna call home, but if you're not gonna enforce ordinances that are easily enforced, I mean, it's not like somebody's jaywalking or they're making the J turns and that kind of thing. You know when this is gonna happen. Happens every year at the same time. You know it's against our rules and regulations, and nobody is enforcing it.
Okay, thank you.
So, thank you. Do I need to sign this? One short.
Please.
Do I need to sign this in?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other public comment, something not on the agenda? Okay, so we'll go to approval of bi-weekly claims. Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to approve claims number 18423, 18442, 18445, 18462, 18464, 18465, 100410, and added to 18648 and 18469 that were added tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Parker.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any public comment on the claims? Any questions on the claims? Seeing, oh, go ahead.
I see that we have a couple with HDR again. How are we coming along with their reports and
Yeah,
stuff?
the one on HDR, you knew it was before, that was for the capacity study. It was money they had left in their contract. The other one is kind of strange. It's from 2020. And they just submitted it. That's what those two are.
And then I also had a comment, it looks like approximately for the building inspector claim 18446, I noticed with the revenues we took in, it appears that the town didn't really make anything on, by the time we paid the building
Building permits have
inspector.
been slow. We have no control over that.
We might want to think about increasing fees.
When we get into the budget, we're gonna talk about a lot of those. Also, the building permit, there was a new bill that passed in this last session that allows us to use it more freely. And if you recall in the audit, they talked in the audit about how much, how not. That's gonna change. It's gonna be easier for the town with the building permit money to use it as we need.
Won't be restricted to that and then.
Councilor Parker.
Just a question on the construction. Have we ever thought about putting it back out there for a bid for somebody else to come in and do it through the town?
Under contract.
Independent?
For the building permit,
Yes.
That already took place this year.
well, we could, but I think it's this, how long is the contract for?
I believe it's 3 years.
3 years. We could, but I'll tell you what, I don't know who you're gonna get.
Well, I mean, it's, you've got a lot of people that are now
Yeah,
going
it's a
to the
3 year, I
different
think it's
trades,
a 3 year
the different
contract.
trades and stuff
Yeah,
now
we'll
too,
get back
so.
to you. I think it's a 3 year contract that was approved by the council. Councilmember Lowell.
I just had a question on 18438. It was Wellhouse Field Mowing for Weeds. Is that a private company, D4?
Oh, spraying?
Oh, they were spraying
And
and mowing? Okay.
Yeah, we did the airport. We had, if some of you recall last year, we gotta go back up there, they missed a couple spots. Last year, we were paying 3,000 a pop. This year, we're gonna pay about 800. We missed one of the tax areas. Any other questions on the claims? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Barker. Aye. Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lowell.
Aye.
And Councilor Michelson.
Aye.
Okay. We'll go to the fire department. Matt is here. You got an anonymous letter. Matt, do you want to address that?
You may just do my presentation.
Sure.
You got the report for the month and the stats. Overall, crime was down. We had an increase in disturbances. We had 9 versus 2 last year. 38 calls overall. But we did get an anonymous letter concerning our newest officer. A little bit about Cassie. She's from the area. She knows the area. We're lucky to have her because there was several agencies that were seeking her. MHP was active, Cascade County, Missoula, the city of Missoula. She graduated with a 3.97 GPA, so she does have college education. While she was in college, she did her internship with the city of Missoula and Cascade County. That, along with her life experiences, translates well to the calls that she's been on. I've reached out to the people that she stopped on traffic, and the constant comment that I get is that she's pleasant and she's very nice. So that's the kind of person that we want pulling our citizens over. Another thing that she's done, she did a presentation at the Revived Church yesterday. Apparently they have a summer Bible camp. The number of young ladies that were there that just gravitated to her because it was a female in uniform, you would have been pleased. I think she's gonna do well for the town. I think she's gonna be very well representing the town. And she's gonna be somebody that the young ladies and girls in this town can look to as a mentor. Because, as you can see, males dominate this profession and we have very few females in it. So I always advocate for females in the profession. And I think she's gonna be a shining star as long as we're able to keep her.
Thank you, Matt. Fire chief?
You have the stats for the month of June in your packet there tonight. You'll note that medical responses are outweighing everything else we do. 501, we do medical over anything else. In the month of June, we did the brand new clinic 9 times in the month alone. We're running out there way more than we ran to the clinic when they were in town. That, and along with prolonged response times from Marcus Daily Ambulance, is kind of what we're seeing as an uptick in our activities on the medical side of it. We're looking at doing more transports. We're looking at doing more rendezvous. We had 2 of those within the month last month. Prior to that, we had 1 like the year before. So that's sticking up. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Now people are more aware that there's a clinic there and their thought is laying there and it's like an urgent now care. That's not really the case there. It's not an emergency. Come in and get treated, take place. Yes, you make appointments. Yes, you see the doctors. Yes, they do all that. But as far as the emergent, that's not the case for that facility out there. People are seeing it and going, oh, well, that's where I can go for emergent care. That's not the case for that clinic. So I think that has a lot to do with why we're seeing the uptick in that call. But we also now have a physical address that we're going to more often. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual in the fire department. As things dry out, it could get exciting later on this summer and this fall. So hopefully we won't have issues in the fall.
Jeff, I noticed on my little cruise around that just south of the Lewis and Clark Park, the grass is so high, and I believe that's been, not that it would be your department, but that grass is very, very high there. And I was thinking with Creamery Picnic being held right there, somebody could flip a cigarette and that's gonna go up like wildfire.
I would agree, and that falls back on MAC and the ordinances, to enforce those ordinances on weeds and that sorts of things.
Well, we can talk to Public Works, but I don't know if that's our property.
It's not, it's private
Ford owns-
property.
Yes.
Ford owns, 'cause they give us an access.
Oh, it's this one,
Oh, this one?
yeah,
I'll
But
talk,
if it is in the city limits, then we go back to city
we'll
limits.
talk to Public Works.
okay. Because it is a problem, I think, with Creamery Picnic right there.
Good for everybody.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, we'll go to new business A, informational updates to the Creamery Picnic special event permit, placement of garbage cans and toilets. We have a gentleman here that I think you all know, if you have any questions. If there aren't any questions, is there any public comment? Seeing none, we just need it's an update, we don't need a motion now.
Yeah, we're good.
So we're good on that? Okay,
Good background.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea where he's got everything located. I think it's gonna take a lot off of our businesses as well. So, smart planning on the Creamery Picnic, committee anyway, so
okay. We'll go to B.
easy peasy.
What this simply is you approved Spring Street and Railroad Avenue. It looks like we have a little more funding than we thought. So we're proposing from Second here to Lewis and Clark Park, which is, a lot of people go there. And the road has some pretty bad spots. So again, this comes from the pothole bill and the BARSA money that's left over. So all we're asking is permission to do the addition of that street. Councilmember Michelson, I'm sorry.
I make a motion to approve requesting for publish an RFP for an additional street repair at Second Street from Buck Street to the entrance of Lewis and Clark Park.
Councilmember Martin.
Second motion.
Okay, is there any public comment? Seeing none, any further discussion? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Barker. Aye. Councilmember Brown. Aye. Councilmember Lowell.
Aye.
And Councilor Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. I think we have one board report, that would be the airport.
Yes. So, at the airport board meeting, that was on Tuesday night, it was quite lengthy. Robert was there to, give them how much they do have in their budget. They would like that information if possible, Gina, every, monthly at board meetings. I know you're still in training, so I was just, for that. The second thing, that's very important to them, they're working on the master plan and in, chapter 2. This is important to them, and it is a question to the town and the council people. What is important to you about the Stevensville Airport? If you would please get back to either airport board members or myself, that would be wonderful. And the second question is, what existing or future issues and concerns do you have about the Stevensville Airport? It's very good information so they can do their master plan.
Councilmember Barton.
Is there a way that we can have the airport board send that out to each one of the council members so it's actually in a format that we can answer
Asking
those
those
questions?
questions.
Yes, please. It would be nice to have
It'll
that.
probably have to come from Tyler.
Have to come
Morrison.
from Tyler.
Okay. I would like to see it that way if possible.
That's fine.
It's- Yeah.
We'll get a hold of Tyler. Okay? Okay,
And that was about it, that was covered. I understand they did get their grant for their courtesy car, $5,000. With that grant, there's certain stipulations that have to be met. Everything else was more or less on hold for them.
thank you. With the council's permission, I'd like to do the executive report before council comments. Is that okay with everyone?
Sure.
Okay. It'll be short. As some of you know, and it's been a struggle for months, I have some health issues. Don't know yet what's gonna have to be done. We're going through the process with the town attorney. Our intent is, with the timelines, the statutes, et cetera, it looks like it would be kind of like when Mayor Minmack left. We will, and again, Overstreet will get with us back on that. Put it out, put it in the paper a couple times, get applications, come up with questions, and the council will choose. And then there's other stuff in there about, you have a special election, you go to another general election, all that type of stuff. So that's where that's at. I don't think it's fair to the town or the staff to go on indefinitely. I hope to try to work through some of the budget before I go. And that's all I have. So we'll go to council comments. Is there already? Councilman Parker.
I'd like to thank the Stevensville Firefighters Foundation Association for putting on the fireworks. I did not go to the park, however, I sat up at my street and I could see completely amazing show that you guys did. I thought it was well put together. And also Main Street. I love the fact that we have lights on Main Street. I saw them putting those lights out and they're ones that stay lit. They don't go out after they heat up for a certain amount of time. And it's completely down the street. I appreciate that. I know we've been battling that for quite some time to get lighting on corners and stuff. So thank you to the Northwestern Energy for completing that task for us.
Thank you. Councilmember Michaels.
I'd also like to thank the Civic Club, Vicky and Jeff, for putting on the picnic July 4th down there at the park. It was, Vicky said, very well attended. Dawn and I went out to it and had a great time. Very relaxing, just people sitting around and having fun. So hopefully there'll be more people next year.
Okay. Any other questions?
I just want to let everybody know I did receive a complaint about the fireworks on July 3rd that were being shot off at a bar downtown on Main Street. Very disturbing to this gentleman's elderly neighbors. He actually got up at midnight and went down to the bar and asked him to stop shooting off the fireworks. So, yes, there is something about the fireworks in town. Don't know what we can really do about it. Thank you, Jeff and Vicki, again, like always, for putting on your show and the picnic. Everybody who did that, it was unable to attend because I do have pets, so thank you. And Mayor, hopefully you can get your medical issues taken care of.
Thank you. Okay, is that it? Oh,
I just have one question. I just kind of wondered why you had removed the agenda item on,
Because we're doing more research into it, plus as Councilmember Mike, we might have to look at it.
We'd have to do an RFP on it anyway, so.
Rather than just pick one company.
okay. I just thought if it would be beneficial and save
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
not,
of
we're not,
time.
we're not saying it might not be beneficial.
Yeah.
But I think in talking to council president too, I mean, I think we might have skipped that.
Yeah, because we would have got to this and then we just said we need to put it up for an RFP like we did the agency personnel thing, because it is a contract. There's more than one outfit that does it.
Is that it?
Yep.
We're adjourned.
Good job.